Well, Jimmy Kimmel is taking his political message overseas. The late-night host delivering an alternative message, a Christmas message on British television, and taking jabs at President Trump, of course. Kimmel saying, in part, I honestly have no idea what's going on over there. I do know what's going on over here. From a fascism perspective, this has been a really great year. Tyranny is booming over here. Tom Bevan, RealClearPolitics co-founder and editor, joins me now. I know you're laughing, but I don't think it's because of the comedy. I think it's because of the ridiculousness. Am I right?
That is true. I mean, Jimmy Kimmel is among the most insufferable sort of Trump haters in America, and he and his other fellow late-night comics have managed to sort of ruin late-night TV. But what's interesting about this message, he also goes on to say, Julie, that his show is booming. It's doing better than ever. So there's a real contradiction there. If tyranny is booming, how can his show be doing so well? If he's being attacked and fascism is on the march here in America, it makes no sense. And it hasn't from the beginning. So this is the message that he wanted to send to the British people, but it doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
Yeah, you know what's interesting is that he actually apologizes for once for the United States and for what we stand for. So he actually apologizes essentially for being American, but yet never actually clearly apologized for his despicable comments regarding Charlie Kirk's heinous death and assassination. That is sick.
Right.
That's not funny.
And he also said that we're not smart as Americans. So,
well, we're not, because we're tuning into Jimmy Kimmel, apparently. I mean, when you mention the fact that his ratings are up, I don't know. To me, that's rubbernecking. Like, I am a diehard rubbernecker. When I see a crash, I can't help to look at it. And that's how I attribute ratings to Jimmy Kimmel.
Yes, and look, historically, his ratings are down. All of late-night TV's ratings are down, with the exception of Greg Gutfeld, of course. But he did get a bounce after he was in the news because of this controversy over what he said about Charlie Kirk and the response from Trump and the U.S. government, and then him sort of being taken off air, coming back on air. There were a lot of people who tuned in to see what he was going to say. But overall, the trend is down. But again, to the point, if you know, tyranny is so great in the United States, why does Jimmy Kimmel get to go on the air every single night and bash the president of the United States? That seems like that seems like a free America.
Yeah, and by the way, he's taking free advantage of being on the airwaves by taking advantage of making fun of Trump. In fact, let's take a look at his dig at Trump since being back on the air.
Grubhub delivered 5.2 million chicken nuggets last year, and that was just to the White House. Trump was all over the map last night. His blood sugar was up. We are now 8 days away from Christmas and 3 days away from finding out if our president was naughty or nice on that list he's been hiding. Trump shouldn't be preempting the floor. He should be mopping it, okay?
Again, I'm not laughing, but the crowd seems to be. I wonder if there's like a laugh sign there.
Well, look, as I said, late-night TV, late-night comics in particular, Stephen Colbert did it. You know, they became more and more niche, basically pandering to sort of an anti-Trump audience. And as a result, they found their ratings, you know, decline rather precipitously. I think some folks on the left, they do enjoy this. They like it. They like people who make fun of Trump. But for the vast majority of people, I agree with you, Julie. I don't think it's funny, and I think you know, it's just one of the late night TV used to be a place where we could go to get away from stuff, and now we can't get away from the Trump hating.
You know
of
what late
Jimmy
night TV
Kimmel
used to be?
Compatriots.
Not about politics. You know, I really miss the
Johnny Carson was
days.
famously apolitical. That's right.
I loved that. And that's the way it should be. You know, it doesn't need to be about politics. It needs to be about comedy and like good comedy. All right, I just got to switch gears real quick. There's this backlash after this jazz concert that's been held for 20 years at the Kennedy Center. And now the host is calling it off because of the name change. And here's the Chuck Red statement regarding why he's backing out. When I saw the name change on the Kennedy Center website and then hours later on the building, I chose to cancel our concert. So it's just like, you know, entertainment and politics just don't mix. And why not go on with the concert? Why does that name change have anything to do with this annual tradition that's been going on for decades?
Right. It's another example, unfortunately, of how politics used to be something that was separate from sports and entertainment and all of these things. And now it's sort of invaded everything that we do. And Trump's been a part of that, whether you like him or don't like him. We just can't get away from it now. Now, this guy, I mean, he had a couple of options. I mean, he could have let the concert go on without incident. He could have, had the concert proceed and voiced his opposition to the name change. But he chose the most extreme option, which was to cancel the entire concert and ruin it for all the people who had planned to be there for this annual tradition. And so, again, it's just another example of people on the left who don't like Trump will go to whatever extremes that they want to sort of signal to everybody else that they really hate Trump.
All right, Tom Bevan, thank you very much, and Merry Christmas to you.
Merry Christmas. Thanks, Julie.
I'm Steve Doocy.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.